Hey guys, so today we're going to continue finding derivatives of trig functions using the chain rule. So in the first example, I used trig functions, I used square roots. So why not for this third problem, put them all together. So I'm going to rewrite this just so you can kind of see it a little better because I wrote square root. So I'm taking the square root of the sine of 3x. So we got a lot of things going on here. In most cases, you can just derive two things. Like last time it was, I could derive sine, I could derive 2x, but now you can also derive the square root. Well, what does that mean in the chain rule? It means that you're going to have, a third variable, but you're going to see it more than once. So just kind of putting a reminder of what the chain rule is, and we'll just jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this function. Remember that anything that has a square root is really just a power of 1/2. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this as u to the 1/2 power. Sidebar, where u equals the sine of 3x. I'm laughing a little bit because, well, you'll see. Okay, so I'm just going to take dy over du. dy over du. Well, the derivative of u to the 1/2 power would be, and just in case, here's the coefficient of 1. 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. And I take 1 away from the power, 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. Okay, so now comes the fun part. I can't actually derive u with respect to x because I could, again, derive sine, I could derive 3x, but for both, I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite this as the sine of u sub 1. I'm going to call 3x u sub 1. So it's easy to kind of get yourself lost when this happens, so I need you to stay organized. Okay, here we go. So what's the derivative of u with respect to x is what we want to know. Well, we're going to have to take a sidebar and derive this. So the derivative of sine u sub 1 is cosine u sub 1, but times du sub 1 over dx. So again, remember how it's times du over dx? Well, I'm in the middle of kind of u sub 1, not just u yet. So in this case, I have u sub 1. I need to find du sub 1 over dx, which is just the derivative of u sub 1, and that's just 3. Okay, so du over dx equals cosine, sorry, that should be here. Du over dx equals cosine of u sub 1, but again, remember everything should be in terms of x. So what is u sub 1? It's 3x. Times du sub 1 over dx, which is 3. So again, that would be 3. So du over dx equals 3 cosine of 3x. Remember, never multiply that 3 by the angle. It belongs to the cosine, so it would have to be cosine of 3x, and the 3 is just, this 3 right here is just the coefficient of it. So going back to the chain rule, now that we have dy over du, we multiply it by du over dx, which we have. And that would be 3 cosine of 3x. So we had a much larger sidebar here just because I had to take an extra u value and name it u sub 1, which happens. Okay, so the good thing is we're out of that matrix and we're coming back here. which is to find dy over dx. So again, all I'm going to do, since I've already found the derivative by multiplying dy over du times du over dx, is replacing the u back with whatever it equals to. So u is equal to sine of 3x, not to be confused with u sub 1. It has a negative half power, which belongs to this trig function. And this is already in terms of x, so I'll bring that down. Okay, so it's time to clean it up. So to find dy over dx, I am going to just rewrite that 1/2 and figure out what's supposed to be in the numerator, what's supposed to be in the denominator. Well, the sine of 3x has a negative power, so it's going into the denominator, so it will have a power of positive 1/2. That 3 cosine of 3x, nothing's wrong with it. It stays in the numerator. And then just to clean that up, I'm not going to leave that 1 there. 1 times 3 is just 3. So 3 cosine of 3x over 2. And remember that this 1/2 belongs to the entire trig function sine of 3x, which means the entire trig function sine of 3x will be in a square root, which is the equivalent of a 1/2 power. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope this helped.